Whether you in a car, room, office, or
Back
town,
for the
right in the
season
morning, got to
finale.
talk for
Fantasy
all the
football is
news.
all wrapped up. If you are in a normal or any type of normal fantasy league,
Yeah, I
hopefully.
hope you're not playing in 18.
If you're playing 18, I feel sorry for you. That's not cool. But man,
It ain't
good to
right.
be back. Good to be back. It's like good, but it's like somber news.
Yeah, I'm glad it's over. I had some
Yeah.
fun. I'm really excited for next season, but take this break. You enjoyed fantasy football. We got a lot of hours on the couch. We still got playoffs coming up. To really enjoy it as a fan, but it was a good fantasy season.
It was stressful, man. It was a very stressful season. Putting your team out here in front of everybody, letting them see you. I lost in the semifinals with my league that we follow here, so that was a tough loss. Boys just didn't show up. We got smacked. They had like 70 points in the champion playoffs.
Yeah, that's a bad performance. I put up 150 half PPR league, so I was pretty happy. Lost to the champ. He put up 172. Followed it up with a 182 the next week. He deserved it. It was a great win. His team got hot at the right time. Joey Burrow, really carried him.
Man, but Devontae's been amazing. Joe Burrow wasn't amazing back-to-back 2 weeks. But I did get it done in my dynasty league. Got myself a championship, 10-4, finished as a 2 seed. Bye week was clutch because I actually had an awful first week. Second week was a good week. And last week I didn't play well, but the guy who scored 170 scored 90 points in the championship.
It just how it happens. I mean, usually a lot of the times the best team in fantasy is not going to win, which sucks. But I did win back-to-back in our dynasty league. So,
96,
starting
97.
out of a dynasty myself. And then my boy Max Weiss's league, shout out Max, started playing fantasy football with him. We had a team together. We got to meet in the finals in his league, 4th year. Finally made it to a finals. I took him out. Jarvis Landry on Monday night almost got a touchdown that would have buried me. So
yes, that back shoulder.
There, but good season, got 2 championships, pretty happy.
2 championships back-to-back in the dynasty league. Pretty tough. I'm in that same league, and I had the worst record in the league. But so it's a marathon, not a sprint.
No,
dynasty leagues are different, man. It's the whole different
draft. Yeah, you got to trades and draft is really how you get it done. I drafted a really good team even after trading Justin Herbert and DeAndre Swift last year.
Yeah. Looking back on that one,
wish I still had those guys.
Could have been easier.
Tua, Robert Woods. I got Zach Ertz from you though, so he was pretty helpful this year.
Yeah, it could have been easier. Let's give out some awards to some of the guys. Best championship performances, Week 17's Cincinnati
Jamar
Bengals.
Chase.
Chase.
It has to be. He put up a 50 spot.
As Blake
it was
Stesco.
Incredible.
Austin Hunt did it with Jamar Chase. Championship.
If you had Jamar Chase and you didn't win, I'm so sorry for you. Like that had to suck. But if you played like a Seattle stack with Devontae Adams or even Najee Harris, if you lost on that Najee Harris touchdown, you may never want to play fantasy football again.
That was heartbreaking. As soon as that scored, you text me, it was like someone just lost a lot of money.
Like thousands, if not millions of people won or lost their league on that play.
Jamar Chase, what a heck of a performance. What, he have 50 fantasy points?
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. 11 catches, 266. That's crazy.
And then Rashad Penny went off. And I'm on Ross St. Brown. He was a real league winner. He carried you through the playoffs if you started him the last 3 weeks.
And I was nervous.
A 6 seed to the championship.
Yes, and it was very nerve-wracking starting him because you're putting all your faith into a bad team. So that's always risky. But, man, he had an amazing last 4 to 5 weeks. And it looks like a bright spot in the Lions offense moving into next season. If he can keep this up with Hockenson and Swift, don't get excited, Detroit. Don't get excited.
You had one receiver on the outside. You got St. Brown in the slot. Who knows? You get a little defense with that second pick in the draft. Might be able to turn around a little bit quicker.
Don't get excited. It's Detroit. Also, shout out, like you said, Devontae Adams, man. Him and Cooper Kupp just going off. And it is just absolutely insane to watch. Because the game plan before is these guys are going to get the ball, especially in the Green Bay's offense. And you cannot stop Devontae Adams from catching it.
No, they couldn't. The Vikings couldn't do anything with Devontae Adams. And Cooper Kupp all year, 15 touchdowns, leading the league in receiving. I don't think he's going to get 2,000, but he's up there. Him and Stafford have a real connection. We saw with Calvin Johnson. We got to throw JT in there too, because the Colts are giving the ball to JT, and he's still running for 100 yards every game.
Yeah, definitely MVP of fantasy is definitely Cooper Kupp, 15 reception touchdowns and all the yards and catches he's gotten. A PPR just blessing for sure. But yeah, JT with the honorable mention, runner up for the MVP award. 20 touchdowns ain't too shabby.
No, definitely not. And
hit a snootful.
He gets week 18 against the Jaguars. He could add a little stats right there. He is in striking distance of 2,000. Probably not going to get it, but
no. Pickup of the year, who you got?
Some people will say Elijah Mitchell, but I got to say Cordero Patterson. I mean, the guy was a scoring machine. He single-handedly won you some weeks early in the season that probably put you to the playoffs. He was okay in the playoffs, but yeah.
Based off what I said about the guy on draft night in my own league, it's definitely Cordero Patterson. I legit laughed out loud, hysterical when someone drafted him. I'm like, you're out of your effing mind to draft Cordero Patterson. And he made me eat my words several times this season. So hell of a year for him, not so much for Atlanta. The I Have Arrived award. I love this. This is big. Justin Jefferson.
I think I got to give it to Justin Jefferson. He's proved that he is a top 5, if not top 3 receiver in the league. I know we had some injuries. Hop was out. AJ Brown was out for a while, and they kind of come back. But Justin Jefferson, it doesn't matter who's at quarterback. Even when Sean Mannion was there, he got enough. I think it was like 8 points, 4 for 40, which isn't
not
a
bad
good floor, but
for a guy who's
so good all year. He's got to be it for me.
Yeah, no, he's definitely has surpassed his own teammate and Adam Thielen. He's making the trade away for when losing Stefon Diggs not seem like an issue because he's actually that good. And Stefon Diggs and Thielen are 2 hell of receivers. But JJ shows up week to week.
Honorable mention's got to be Joe Mixon. The guy finally arrived. Like, I think I got him in one league in like the 4th round. Like, it was a family league. It was pretty whack, 8 teams. But yeah, I got him late.
Mr. Consistent this year. He's probably someone like the last 3 years you've just been begging for him to be this. Every year it's like, oh yeah, I got Joe Mixon. He'll dominate the Cincinnati backfield. And every year he's been kind of just so for fantasy wise. But this year he proved to be, a top 4 fantasy back, honestly.
Yep. And Deebo Samuel is a cheat code. Honorable mention to him as well.
The guy does everything. Receiver, tight end.
Whatever you need.
Yeah. They need to honestly update his thing on he should be able to play receiver and tight end. I need to see and running back. I need to see all options next to his name in all fantasy apps because he does it all.
Yeah, that's a steal if you're able to do that. I think some apps might allow that for like Patterson, running back.
Yeah,
receiver.
Patterson's running back receiver.
Deebo deserves it because he lines up in the backfield so much.
Yeah, Patterson exactly. He had running back receiver. Taysom Hill used to get quarterback, tight end. I need the love for Deebo. He's proven to be a guy that can line up all over the field.
Absolutely. Now, bust of the year. Who are you giving it to?
So many guys.
There were some injuries, but there were some high picks that didn't perform.
So I'm not going to say Christian McCaffrey due to the injury. When he was healthy, he was Christian McCaffrey. I think
a little bit.
I mean, as much as we expected on that team, he was giving you the good floor. He was getting touchdowns still. He was definitely a running back 1 and 2 to play. I think a guy who everyone expected to bounce back this season and didn't and was healthy most of the year is Saquon Barkley. I think him and that entire New York Giants offense struggled. Everyone struggled. Kenny Galladay, Evan Ingram.
No touchdowns.
Everyone took a step back, I feel, on that New York offense, and they had some high hopes.
Yeah, Saquon did miss a few games, but the games he was in, he was not productive. He wasn't really even startable until the championship. If you got to the championship with Saquon Barkley,
which you probably
congratulations. I don't know how you did that.
I don't know how you did that, yeah.
And then I got to talk about Allen Robinson because people drafted him probably as a high wide receiver, low end wide receiver 1, high wide receiver 2.
And he got cut. He was end of the year on the waivers.
Yep.
It's tough, man. He's a talented receiver.
He might just want to get paid. I don't know.
It's tough in the contract season to have that year. I know he's probably super frustrated as a hell of a receiver that he's proven to be, but bad timing for sure.
Yeah.
And I hope he goes somewhere else. I really do, to see if he can, kind of give his career a little revamp.
Now, surprise of the year. Who you got on this one?
Man, I was surprised by 4 touchdown Leonard Fournette. I feel like going into the season, Ronald Jones was who everyone thought was going to dominate the backfield.
Yeah.
And he basically took the job from Ronald Jones. Ronald Jones was not even rosterable in most leagues unless you're playing deep dynasty or something like that. Leonard Fournette completely took that job, proved why he was drafted so early years ago, and it was great to see. I was happy for him.
Yeah, both sides of the ball. He was catching it really well, and he was running it really well. Doing it from that, like both ends of the spectrum like that, you can really rack up some fantasy points. 50 yards receiving,
a lot of those.
60 yards rushing, you get a touchdown. And he was getting multiple touchdowns in multiple games.
And that's a steal, because I know you drafted him as like a running back 3, possibly even a guy off the bench.
But another guy I got to give that to is James Conner, going to Arizona on a 1-year deal. I mean, you'd think it's going to be Edmonds, and he takes over that backfield. He was the goal line threat. And then later in the year, when Edmonds went down, he really took control of that backfield, doing it receiving and rushing. Touchdown machine. I was low on him. I was down on Conner, and he proved me wrong for sure.
Man, his injury definitely hurt you late when you made it to the playoffs with him. That was the only thing about it, because I know he got your team to the playoffs because he was a running back 2 almost the entire season, touchdown fanatic. And one league, we traded Chase Evans away and kept Conner, and it happened to be the best trade we've ever made. So big props to James Conner, and honorable mention, wide receiver, Las Vegas, Hunter Renfrow, man.
Absolutely, he was awesome.
Has definitely proven to be consistent.
Him and Derek Carr, and we saw Hunter Renfrow catch that touchdown in the national championship. So he's been a guy that's been around for a while, and you saw it a little bit last year, kind of flashes. And even the beginning of the year when they were kind of fully healthy and Ruggs was playing, he was still doing it a little bit. But then when Ruggs went out, someone had to step up, and Waller went down.
Edwards got hurt.
Was about as consistent as you can be.
Yeah, man, he was exceptional this season, and he's got to be a bright spot there for that Vegas team that's dealing with a bunch of shit.
Absolutely.
Rookie of the year. I thought it was going to be a landslide, but the last 2 weeks, my vote has changed.
Yeah. I mean, the beginning of the year was Jamar Chase. It was Jamar Chase and Najee Harris kind of duking it out, and then Chase kind of fell off. Najee had a couple bad games, but he was clearly at 300 touches this year. I think it was him, Eckler, and got to give Eckler a shout out. We didn't talk about him before, but he was awesome. He was so great all year.
I was just giving him the entire time.
Top 4 pick next year.
Top 4 pick,
maybe.
Finished as running back number 2.
Yep.
I was huge on Eckler, though. I drafted, and I was telling everybody, like, he's going to be the shit.
The guy. So 300 touch club, Najee Harris, Eckler, JT. But I'm going to give it to Najee. Championship performance. He scored that late touchdown. He was consistent all year. Jamar Chase had the big games, but he had some big lows. And I think Najee just kind of brought it more on a week-to-week basis.
Najee, the only running back in the entire NFL to play 80% more, of 80% of every snap in every single game this year.
He's the new feed me.
Yeah. And, I think it has to go to Jamar Chase. It was Najee. That was my pick all season, but man, those last 2 weeks, what Chase just did in fantasy playoffs, literally put your team on his back for you and carried you to the title. Like, he didn't just get you there. If you had him, you had to win the title last week. And that's special.
These last 2 weeks might have also won him the NFL Rookie of the Year.
Yes.
We'll see that soon, but I think he definitely snatched that away from Mac Jones like he did that 3rd and 27.
Who gets the final season Cleats of the week? Who we got?
Championship Cleats of the week, Stefon Diggs for the tribute to John Madden.
Hard.
I mean, everyone's played Madden, right?
Man.
So he'll live on forever.
Playing Madden.
Put him on the cover next Madden, and I might buy it. You might sell some more copies if he's on the cover.
I'm not gonna lie, Madden's got me by the balls. I can't stop buying it. Every year I buy it again. They sell me the same thing, and I just
the same game.
Same game.
Repackaging the
They
same
repackage
game,
it, put a
and you
new
buy it
title
every
on
year.
it, and I buy it like a fiend. And I play the year 2035 every time in franchise mode. It's sick. I don't know.
You're
It's
probably gonna do
gross.
that after this.
I'm in 2036 right now.
When do you start over though? Like when is it time?
This is my third
Fantasy
one.
football-
This is
fantasy
my
football's
third
not
one.
done.
This is my third one in the year 2030 plus. I don't know.
Hey, if it works for you.
Man, it's an issue. But fantasy football has been a great year. Until next year, champ, way to get one.
You as well, champ. Thank you for having me on check out
Good
my
fun.
basketball podcast.
Yes,
dropped
sir.
Today, Anomaly.
Hot off the press, sportstimeWithMine.com. You can follow it there. Thanks, Schwartz.